So there was one question that came in ahead of time. All of you had an opportunity to pre-submit a question. And there's a little story behind this. I try to save time by not reading the whole story because a lot of people have very long stories, which I appreciate all the time. But this is a pretty clear-cut case. This is a betrayed wife, and the unfaithful husband has all kinds of porn addiction, sex addiction, lots of acting out, many infidelities in many different ways. The issue is that he's refusing to do any work. So her at the end of the day, her question basically is, how is she supposed to kind of move on when she is with somebody who is refusing to do the work? So this is where we all kind of go back to that same definition of healing, right? What actually is healing after betrayal? Now, I remember, and for those of you that are new to us, I see, Doug, I think we've got, when I was letting people in, I'm not sure how many new people are here, but if you're new to us, my name is Beth, and I'm the founder of Healing Families, but I've also, I wrote a book, and I also founded a couple of these methodologies that we use, one of them being the Betrayal Trauma Healing Method. But within that method, the reason I say that is within that method, we have one very, very core pillar that we all follow, which is this: individual healing. Individual healing. So the unfaithful partner has an individual path to take in order to heal, which I'm going to tell you what that means in a second, in order to heal. And the betrayed partner has an individual path in order to heal. This is one of the big reasons why things like couples counseling, marriage counseling, the therapy where two people sit in a room together or sit on a Zoom call together and heal, it just doesn't work that way. That is old school. That is not taking into account trauma. That is not understanding how the brain and nervous system work. That's why couples who find us have already been down those roads, because they don't work. They might help. They might, give you some tips and some tools here and there, but it's not healing. So number one, for this person that wrote in this question, right? She wants him to disclose everything that he's done, but he's refusing to go to therapy. Well, he's not going to disclose everything then. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to happen, because the shame of what in this particular case, the shame of what he has done is still stuck inside of him. And shame lives in the nervous system. Shame doesn't live in the brain. Shame lives in the body. Shame lives in the nervous system. And the one thing that betrayed partners want more than anything at some point is empathy, right? But all betrayed partners, they all say the same thing. I wish my husband or I wish my wife would just get it. I just wish they would just understand my pain. Well, they're never going to get it if they're still carrying shame, because shame hides empathy. They've got empathy. It's just buried. It's being kept behind this metal wall that is impenetrable. So we have to help betrayed partners see that if you are with somebody who refuses to do the work, you are not going to get what you actually deserve, which is the truth and empathy. So in this particular case, this betrayed wife can't leave because of children and finances. So now her second part of her question was, what do I do with that? Well, you have to implement a very strong boundary, and not just a boundary, but a consequence for that boundary. This is what we would describe like a roommate status, where, if you have to stay, and this is, if there's abuse going on, physical abuse, anything like that, we need to get into some victim support groups for this person. She did not indicate that in her email. So what we would want to help her implement would be a roommate status within the home, which is you live your life, I live my life. If you refuse to do what I need you to do in order to build this 2.0 version of yourself, meaning the unfaithful partner, if he refuses to do that, then she is going to be stuck in this same relationship forever. And this is a question that I ask people, and I know Doug and Sarah ask it as well. You know, if you're a betrayed partner, or even the unfaithful partner, but we mostly ask it of betrayed partners, how did you wake up today? What did you feel like when you woke up today? And if you felt sad, angry, anxious, depressed, rage, hypervigilant, heart racing, however you woke up today is how you're going to wake up every day for the rest of your life unless you make a change. Period. So this particular person, I would love for her, I don't know if she's here live or if she's going to listen to it on replay. I would love for you to book a call with Doug to talk about exactly what it takes to get to that point where you're strong enough to implement that roommate status, where you learn how to love yourself more than you love the idea of being married or the idea of who you think your partner could be.